so let me just start off by giving a little bit of my background. So Slay just went over where he came from when he started wrestling. So I'll tell you about my backstory, my life. I started wrestling when I was 6 years old. 6 years old. I was a really small kid growing up. So my first weight class ever was 45 pounds. I started off as top 45 pounds, and I remember my first tournament. Actually, thinking of Slay's story, I didn't go 0-20 my first year wrestling. I won a couple matches actually, but my first tournament, I remember, I won my first match, and then my second match, I got pinned. The kid pinned me in a cradle. And the craziest part about this story is that the kid's coach was his mom. Also, a kid getting coached by his mom. His mom was in this corner, he cradled me up, pinned me, and I remember at the end of the tournament, I went to my dad and I said, do I win anything? And he was like, no, that's it. But at the end of the day, I realized that I got a participation trophy. So they gave me a little slip at the head table after I got pinned that match, went to the back room, picked out a trophy. It was a little tiny trophy. It was a red trophy with a little gold man on it. And I was super excited. I was pumped up, and that's where it all started. Once I got that first trophy, I was like, man, I love this. I want a bunch of trophies to line my entire shelf in my room, put on top of my dresser, put all around the floor. I love trophies. So that was my biggest motivation as a kid. I wanted to get trophies. I would go to the back room before every single tournament, and I would go and find the biggest trophy. And usually the biggest trophy was the first place trophy, and that's the one I always wanted to win. So started when I was 5 years old, wrestled throughout middle school, wrestled throughout high school, and I was really tiny growing up. So I was a 103 pounder as a freshman in high school, and I was taking my lumps. I wasn't very good. My technique was pretty bad. You know, I was smaller than all the other kids that were overpowering me with the muscle they had developed. So they started developing as young men way earlier than I did. So it was really tough for me. So I was 16-10 as a freshman in high school, didn't place in the state, didn't even make it to state. My sophomore year, I finally made it to state. I was 26-4, got pinned in around the 12, so didn't place in the state again as a sophomore. So I finally made a breakthrough, placed in the state as a junior, made it to the state finals, wrestled a guy who's actually a national champion at Penn State University. His name is Frank Molinaro. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of him, but I wrestled in the state finals at 125 my junior year of high school. And he actually beat me in the state finals for double overtime. There was a 30-second ride out, and I had to ride him for 30 seconds in order to win the match. And he got out with 3 seconds left. 3 seconds left, he escaped and beat me in the state finals. So it crushed me, but that motivated me at the same time. I wanted to be a state champ. I made it to the big show. There was one match, everyone in the arena was watching. So that was intense for me, and that was important. I wanted to be back on the scene, and I wanted to be a state champ. So that following year, my senior year, I came back, I won a state title. I went on to win senior nationals, which were in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania that year. Got recruited by a bunch of different colleges, and I ended up choosing the University of Nebraska. So the most important key of why I chose the University of Nebraska, which is a 19-hour drive from home. I'm originally from New Jersey, grew up in Siglerville, New Jersey, which is about an hour from here, an hour and a half from here, and it was a long drive, so 20 to 19-hour drive all the way to Nebraska. And I had a teammate of mine whose name was Vince Jones. He was 1 year older than me. We were best friends, wrestled throughout high school and middle school together. He went to Nebraska a year before me, so that made me want to go out as well and be teammates with him again. So once I got to college, like Slay said, took my lumps. Continued to lose. I was 16-13 as a freshman. Picture that. I was one of the best kids coming out of high school. My freshman year of college, I was 16-13. So it was really discouraging. I didn't know if I was going to be able to be a national champ. I didn't know if I was going to make it into the lineup. I didn't know if all my dreams and aspirations to be a national champion, an Olympic champion, world champion were going to come true. But I continued to focus, to work hard, surround myself with positive people. I think that's one of the biggest things that you can do as a young man and young woman, to surround yourself with positive people, kids and other teammates that want to do positive things. So you want to surround yourself with people that want to do their homework and do well on their tests. They want to go home and immediately do their homework before they go outside and play. They want to go to wrestling practice and train extremely hard. They want to eat the right things. They play very little video games. They do all the right stuff to ensure themselves that they will be great wrestlers and great human beings as well. So after I got out of college, I made my first world championship team in 2011. It was in Istanbul, Turkey. So I don't know if you guys know where that's from, but it's an extremely long flight. So it's in the Middle East, right to the east of Europe, and it's about a 12-hour flight to get to Istanbul, Turkey. So I made my first world team in 2011. As a rookie, went on and won my first world championship in 2011, came back the following year and wrestled in the Olympic Games, which were held in London. How many of you guys watch the Olympics on TV? Anyone? Nice, nice. Good, so I ended up winning. How crazy is that? I won an Olympic gold medal. I always dreamed of wrestling the Olympics as a kid, and I actually went, stood on the stage, competed at a high level, and took home the gold medal, flew my colors, ran around with the flag behind my back. My family was in the stands. It was an awesome moment. Probably one of the biggest moments athletically in my career. Was awesome. So then after that, everyone thinks, okay, what do you do next? You won the Olympics, you won a world championship, what now? Everything you've ever dreamed of and hoped for, you've got. So what do? Well, I had to go back to the drawing board and reevaluate my goals. And the reason why I wrestle is because I love the sport. I love to compete. I love to train at a high level. I love to push my body to a high level and become the best wrestler I can be possibly. And one of the other things I love is to do things like this. I love to surround myself with positive people. I love to surround myself with other teammates that have the same goals as I do of being world and Olympic champions. That's an awesome time. So we have a camaraderie, we form a brotherhood. So all you guys here, your training partners, even though you may not know it, some of these people here that you're wrestling with today will become your best friends throughout the rest of your life. So you may not know it. This guy may have double-legged you and knee pounded you and hurt your stomach today. He might have hurt your neck or hurt your finger. But 10, 15 years from now, when you guys are in your 20s and 30s, you guys are going to be best friends. You'll remember times like these and how special they were. So I won the Olympics in 2012, reevaluated my goals and decided, you know what, I love this sport. I want to come back, I want to do this all over again. So I trained, continued to train. In 2013, came back this past year, and let me show you just a representation of how fragile our bodies are. So I'm in training camp in Colorado Springs at the Olympic Training Center. We're just finishing up practice. I'm running sprints. I'm trying to win. I'm digging deep. I'm trying to be the best wrestler I can be by training hard every day. And I run to jump off the wall at the end of practice to finish up the sprints and break my ankle. So I broke my left ankle 4 weeks before the world champion. So actually Slade was there. He carried me to the training room that day when I broke my ankle. He got a good workout in that day. He had to carry me all the way to the training room. So after that, I realized that, man, wrestling is fragile. I have to surround myself with positive things that help me remain content. And one of the biggest things I realized the more successful I become is I can't draw my happiness from just winning wrestling matches. I realized that there are a lot more important things in life than just winning trophies, than just winning wrestling matches, winning gold medals and Olympic titles and world championships. There are a lot of cool things. Actually, I'm getting married next weekend. So, So I'm getting married at 16, so I made it out. My fiance is not too happy about that, but I made it out 6 days before my wedding day to come out and be with you guys. So that's a very important day to me. And as cool as wrestling is, and as cool as winning world championships and Olympic titles are, my wedding day is the most exciting day I've been preparing for in my life. So I'm really excited about that. But other than my wedding, I'm just happy to be here with you guys. I think it's really important what you guys are doing here today. These are the hours in the time that you put in and you become champion. So I know it seems like you become a champion on the actual day. Sure, you have to perform on match day, on world championship day, like the state finals, the county finals, the sectionals. You have to be able to perform on that day. But putting the time in these days ensures that you'll be successful in those days. So this is what it's all about. Coming out here, training hard, competing at a high level, surrounding yourself with positive people, being with friends, and just being the best wrestler possible. So I applaud you guys for coming out today. Great job, and I'm going to finish up by answering any questions you guys have for me. So if you have a question, raise your hand, but this is what we're going to do. So we got about maybe 10 or 11 hands up. We're going to take 10 questions. Okay, we're going to take 10 questions. I'll answer them the best way possible, and then we'll finish up by signing some autographs and taking some pictures. All right, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to take my first question right here. We're going to take this guy.
Olympic gold match, how much did you win by?
For the Olympic gold medal match, I won 2-0. So there were 2 periods. The first period I won 1-0. The second period I won 1-0. So the total score was 2-0. And I won the gold medal against a guy from Iran. So I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Iran, but it's a country in the Middle East. I wrestled a guy from Iran, and I beat him in the Olympic finals to win the gold medal.
What's your favorite move besides the double?
Oh, dang, you stumped me. I was about to say a double leg, but he said besides the double leg, so I gotta come up with something else. I don't know, I'll probably say like a low single. I like to hit low singles, they're pretty cool, and it looks good on highlight tape, so I like to hit low singles.
What's the difference between, what was it called again? Yeah, what's the difference between a blast double and a double?
So the difference between a blast double and a normal double. So a blast double, I like to put my head in the center of a guy's chest. So the difference between a blast double and a regular double, from my perspective, I would say a regular double, you put your on the side and you drive the guy to the side. But for my double, I like to put my head right in the guy's chest. run straight through them. So that's a blast up. It's kind of like a football tackle. Yeah, it's just like a spear. Just like a spear. Let's go. Hold that thought. We'll come back to you, okay?
Do you think you can win the next Olympic Games?
I don't know. Do I think I can win the next Olympics? That's a really tough question to answer because there's 3 years from now until the next Olympics. So it's a long process to make an Olympic team, and there are a lot of tough guys in our country. How many of you guys have heard of Kyle Dave? How many of you guys have heard of Dave Taylor? You guys heard of Andrew Howe? There are a lot of tough guys out there that want to be Olympic champions and want to be world champions as well. And those guys are all in my same weight class. So it's really tough to make a team, and I have my hands full competing for Olympic championship, and then that's just the USA. There's a lot of guys all over the world that are really tough as well. So I'm hoping that I get a chance to make the team, hoping we get a chance to compete again in 2016, and definitely hoping to get another chance to win a gold medal.
Throughout your whole life, did you do different types of wrestling?
No, so when I was growing up, I never wrestled freestyle. I didn't wrestle freestyle until I got to college. So I just did a lot of folk style. I wrestled since I was 5 years old, and I just did a lot of folk style growing up. So I just did a lot of camps. I did some summer wrestling. I learned a bunch of technique and folk style. So when I finally got to college, it was the first time I wrestled freestyle. I won a FILA Junior tournament, went out to Istanbul, Turkey, and wrestled FILA Junior World Championships. And I've never wrestled Greco, surprisingly. So how many of you guys have heard of Greco? Greco-Roman wrestling? Never done it. Never done it. And it takes away from everything I'm good at. So if you guys don't know what Greco-Roman wrestling is, basically it's all upper body. The only attacks you can do are from the waist up. So you can't do anything with the legs. You can't shoot any doubles. You can't shoot any low singles. And that's my best stuff. So you take away my best material, I got nothing.
Who's the toughest guy you've ever wrestled?
Toughest guy I've ever wrestled? That's a good question. I don't know, man. That's hard to say. I've wrestled guys with a bunch of different abilities. So that makes it difficult, but in terms of just wrestling, I would say a guy named Andrew Howe. He was really tough. He's strong, man. Probably the strongest guy I've wrestled. And he comes forward, he's always in your face, he's underhooking you, he's snapping on your head, he's elbowing you, you know, he's pulling on your head, he's shooting high crotch, he's shooting single, so he stays in your face and he's relentless with pressure. So he's a tough guy to wrestle. What's up, buddy?
Something. Can I tell you something? This year I won states. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Let's give this guy a hand. Nice. Congratulations, man. That's awesome stuff, right? Good job. Nice work.
How many times have you ever won?
How many times have I ever won? I don't know, man. I don't know. I won a lot of matches in my career, but I've also lost a lot. So actually, I've been on quite a good winning streak in the last couple of years, but I started off losing early in my career. You know, just like Slay said, I took my lumps early, and I just recently started to develop into the wrestler that I am today. So every time I step out on the mat, there's a possibility and a chance that I may lose. But I like to try to compete at high level as I can every time I step out there. So when I step out, I don't really worry about winning or losing. I just try to compete at high level as I can, and hopefully the winning takes care of itself. So I don't think, oh man, I gotta win this match, I gotta continue my streak, this guy's looking to beat me, this guy's the world champ, he's a Russian national champ. I just go out there and wrestle as best I can, hopefully I can win.